Hey guys, Nina here, and this is your January energy update. So a lot of times, like last month, I got the message earlier in November for December. This month, I wasn't quite getting it until the very end of the month. And so when I'm trying on different themes and energy, and I'm, kind of going into my own meditation and grounding about it, what I'm picking up is game changer energy for January. And it was so interesting because I was like, is that really it? I was just like meditating on it. All of a sudden, I see this heading that says, it's a game changer year. And it was some article. And I thought, okay, that heading, that was my sign that this is the energy update for January. So let's get started. I made some notes because there was so much coming in. So the image that came to me was a tsunami that's coming at us. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of twists and turns over the last year. So all of us can say, wow, that's a game changer year last year. But guess what, guys? We hadn't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you why, okay? This month, particularly going into about January 6th, Mars goes back into Cancer. And for those of you who follow me know that Mars is in retrograde right now. It's been in Leo in retrograde. Now it's going back into Cancer. And so when you look at the Mars retrograde on the collective, it's the warrior energy. It can bring out wars and violence and frustrations and anger. And then it moves into Cancer, the planet of emotional well-being and being able to express yourself emotionally. But when you're angry, what do? You get reactionary. So on the collective, don't think for 1 minute that we aren't going to be as a society, as a world, being up in arms of things. Because even though we're just getting out of the holiday season, things kind of quieted down a little bit. Not so much. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on even during the holidays. However, for the most of us that in our personal lives, we kind of shut down for a time so we can recharge. So the beginning of January, and just so you know, on a positive side of Mars retrograde for all of us, it's a great time. Instead of coming out of the, January 1st, like guns a-blazing, this is a good time to still be in your strategy, still be in your planning, reorganizing, healing certain things in your own life, okay? So this is why this energy is there right now. However, the image, like I said, that came to me was almost the tsunami energy. And when you have seen things on, if you've ever been in a tsunami, I haven't, but the things I've seen on television, one of the things that I've witnessed is the animals that seek for higher ground. They intuitively know something is coming. There's something in the air. And what's happening is the currents, the water underneath is starting to move, okay? And it's starting to build momentum. So I want you to think about, even though maybe in your own life, things aren't happening the way that I'm saying game changer energy, but on the collective, we are getting ready for a big shift. Now with that shift, just like a tsunami, sometimes if you're not tuned in, you aren't gonna feel it. So it's gonna become a surprise. So I want you to think about your own life and be ready for game changer energy. Because what might happen is you think you're going left and you end up going right. Okay? So if we're going right, we got to learn how to blend with it, move with it. This month is the marking of a new beginning, a new shift. Planets are changing signs. We're moving into a 9-year as a collective. So a 9-year, January 1st, 2025 is a 9-year. In numerology, what it means is that we're in a year of completion. So these first couple of months, we're going to be revisiting old wounds, old things that are triggering us, both personally and professionally. And so guess what? In order to have that game changer, you've got to have the mindset, that game changer energy that allows your life to move forward in a more positive way. Now, some people, when they feel something stirring and changing, there's a kind of big force undercurrent, especially for empaths that are very kind of tuned in. So you know something's on the way, you just don't know what it is. And because we've had all these twists and turns over the last 4 or 5 years, some of us are like, whoa, you know what? I better hold on for dear life. No. We're not going to hold on. We're going to let go. Because what do when we get scared or we get fearful? We hold on instead of release it. There are bigger energies in the world that are working in order for the old to come to an end. Guys, there is so much corruption in the world, not just here in the United States, that these old institutions, these old leaders, these old ways of being need to close out so that we truly can create a new. So we can't go back to the old. We don't necessarily know what the new is going to look like. Guess what? It feels a little scary. It's okay. But the thing that you have to understand is not to react to that fear, but start to become more mindful in your own life. So for those of you who do my Mindful Mondays, I'm going to say, whether it's Mindful Mondays in your own grounding and learning how to do that, get into some practice in the morning so that you can stabilize your own energy field. Because things were going to be shifting left and right and left, and it's going to be a roller coaster ride once again. Things are moving, they're not stabilizing yet. So the stable energy needs to come from you, not the outside world. Spiritual growth in the making, I think, for all of us. Yes, this is the game changer, moving from structure and leading. This year really marks the shift, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, futuristic, humanity, we the people, that it's going to become more frequency oriented versus structure, physical body oriented. You're going to see a lot more coming out in terms of health and well-being, frequency healing, energy healing. That's why, for those of us that are already into it, it has made a massive leap over the last 4 or 5 years in this area, where 30 years ago, people would be like, what in the world is she talking about? I have no idea. Okay. So for those of you who are not into numerology, you have a 1 to, goes from 1 year all the way to a 9 year. And each year you are looking at a certain energy in your own life and the collective. This 9 year is about finishing up stuff. There's some old stuff that needs to be, healed away, needs to be dealt with in a different way. This is the time to do it. When you have a Mars in retrograde and Cancer, especially in your personal lives, hey, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So what are you going to do differently this year to help yourself move? Game changer energy starts first with your mindset. Be open to it. Start to lean into it. So as the collective changes around you, you are going to be like that palm tree that sways. It bends. But guess what? It doesn't break. And you are not going to break either. This is a wild, wild ride that we've all signed up for on planet Earth, especially during this time. So I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to get ready. You gotta buckle up, buttercup, because guess what? Fasten those seatbelts. And I want you to lock yourself in for this wild ride. Start to let go of the things you cannot control and understand that this month is really about setting yourself up for the game changer energy. If you resist it, you are going to be in turmoil. If you move into it and know there's a higher purpose for the collective, but also for your own personal life, even if things look a little bleak or you don't know where to go or you're getting confused, know that it starts right here, game changer. And as you change your mindset, as you open up to the new, look at different ways and dynamics of looking at different things in your own life and the collective, you're going to be on a more joyous ride. Just like when you're on that roller coaster. If you hold on too tightly, you're going to end up with a backache or whiplash. But if you let go and laugh and play and know that you're going to be safe. And I want to really emphasize that. We're all going to be safe. Humanity is up-leveling right now. And we all have to get behind the game changer energy. So that's my update for January. I hope you all will join me in this mindset, in this wild ride. And if things start out a little slow, it's okay. Just know life is shifting as we know it.